check that out. We're almost halfway there. Man, that looks good. That's looking good. So. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to put on the fiberglass Baja style fender on the 2020 front end. So I'm going to say 20, but it's really from 14 to 20. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and like, subscribe, and turn on that push notification and hit that like button. Alright guys, so don't forget, comment down below on all of the previous episodes also. And also subscribe to our channel so you can win a $59.99 or $60 package of touch-up bottles, so you guys can use that for your vehicles. So again, let's go ahead and get started on this video. Alright guys, so if you guys remember last episode 7, we did the radiator support. We did the change out the old 2007 radiator support to the 2020 or 2014 to 2020 radiator support. And we also lined up that hood to make sure everything lines up properly, which it does. And now we're gonna go ahead on this episode. We're gonna go ahead and line up the Baja fenders, the headlights, the little surprise right there for you on the grill area, and then make sure everything fits correctly. And then we're gonna go ahead and prep the parts this episode for paint. All right, so before we can actually line up the fenders, remember this little bracket right here that we couldn't figure out last episode? But I figured it out. I went to a dealership and they told me that's gonna be part of the radiator support. So they call it the driver side radiator support bracket. I'll give you guys a link to that one. But same thing like that we did on the radiator support, we have to drill out the welds, the spot welds basically. Or you can grind it out and then spot weld it. But for me, a lot easier for me to just go ahead and drill it out and also tap weld it in. Well, actually not tap weld it in, I'm riveting it in. So on this one, you're gonna have 4 spot welds. All right, so here's the bracket that we need right here. So we're gonna go ahead and line this up. It should line up. There's like a hole right here. Let's see if it lines up. Line up with this thing first. And there's like this hole right here, if you guys can see right here. Just match it up to that hole right there. So once it's matched up, I'm gonna line up the fender and make sure like it lines up properly.
The next day.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and test fit this fiberglass fender right here on the driver's side. See if everything lines up before we start welding this piece right here. So with fiberglass, you always gotta do a little bit of modification here and there. It's never perfect. We're just gonna see where it is that we need to do modification on. bat right here, I can already tell the gap is going to be good because the line is good. I'm not going to mess around too much over here. I'm just going to smooth it out, make it look perfect. Over here, I'm pretty much going to shave off like a little bit, like almost like half an inch maybe on the top part. And then let's see what it looks like over here. Alright, see right here guys? If you look right here, the actual hinges is also different. I believe it's different, so I can show you guys why I think it's different. Well, I kind of cheated a little bit off camera because I already tried to test this already a few days ago. But I ordered a, I'm gonna take this off before it falls off. It's kind of windy today. So I ordered the original fender, and I noticed everything lines up perfectly fine. The gap is great, the line is good. We have the core support lined up correctly. So this headlight right here is perfect. The bolts line up right there. But if you guys look over there, same exact issue right there. The 2007, 2013 Toyota Tundra, the hinges are lower versus the new ones. Let me show you guys that one. Let's see if I can get the right one first. You guys can see on this hinge right here. See where the top part is? Where the top part of this thing's underneath more. And this part right here is up more. So that's where we're having that difficulty actually putting on the fender. So right off the bat, if you guys gonna try and convert, you gotta get the new hinges. Alright guys, I just couldn't resist. I just gotta see what the TRD Pro Grille looks like on this new mod we did. So let's see let's see what we gotta do to mock this up. Alright guys, so let me show you a little trick that I just figured out. Instead of me cutting my TRD Pro Grille, I just figured out this bracket actually comes off. So there's like these two screws right here, or bolts, that goes on each. Well, let's see if this is I think it went this way. No, did it go that way? Something along that line. But basically there's bolts right here, and you just take those bolts off right here, and you don't have to cut your TRD Pro Grille off. So take that off, that's to the side. I'm just gonna zip tie it right now so I can just see what it looks like. If you guys remember in the other video I showed you guys how to take this off, so go ahead and put a link up here so you guys can see how we took off the TRD Pro Grille on that 2018, I believe, Tundra. Man, that looks good. That's looking good. So look, everything fits perfectly. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and take off the hood, get those new hood hinges on, and then we're gonna go ahead and put this back on just to mark off where we need to shape it off, and then prep all the parts and get it ready to paint. Alright guys, if you guys want to see how we took off the hood, go ahead and look at our previous video. I think this is the last video before, and also we have a link up here so you guys can see how we took that off. So I'm not going to bore you this time with me taking it off. I'm just going to go ahead and take it off right now. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take off these old hinges right here. Be a 12. That's pretty easy. So pretty much there's already a marking right here. Just follow that marking right there. Just line it up. It's pretty much all the same. The only difference is this thing. go ahead and mock up that fender. I'm gonna take off this grill right here because there's a little prong that needs to be adjusted on that. Let me go check the other fender. Let me go change the bracket on that one and put on the regular fender and see if that's still causing us some problems. What I've noticed is the fender, the original fender, bolts right up. So my conclusion is that fiberglass one is made too short. Yeah, it looks like it's too short. It's not gonna go all the way through. So I may have to disregard bolting up on here and just bolt it up on these two right here. That's what I'm thinking. Everything else lines up perfectly fine. Alright guys, so right here, I can already see my bolts are fine. Everything else lines up. So all I'm gonna do, I can see right here the gaps are a little bit off. So I just marked. I'm gonna shave it off. So I'm just gonna shave off a little bit. It's not that much more. So then everything else should line up. See where the line is right here? It looks good to me. So it's just a little bit right here that needs to be taken off. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue on the other side, mock it up, and get you guys back on here and show you guys how I sand this down and get it prepped. Right, so the next thing we're gonna tackle is gonna be this fender right here. So you can guys see right here. I'm gonna line it up with the headlight and see if it fits. But for the most part, what I'm noticing on this fender right here is so thin. Look at that right there. It's very thin right there. So I know for sure I'm gonna have a fitment issue. But let's go ahead and try out the headlight and see if it is true. So yeah, even as much as I force it in, it's not going in. It's just because this thing is too thick. So I gotta cut that down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use a Sharpie, and I know it's kind of like it's not that much, so it's gonna be, I would say, cut off an inch. Just gonna mark a line. So the line doesn't have to be perfect because you guys will sand it down anyways. If you guys are wondering why custom fabricators cost so much, it's because so much work to make sure everything lines up perfectly. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start cutting around this fender right here, or the headlight area, but we're going to use a Dremel. If you guys don't have a Dremel, I highly recommend you guys buy one of these things. This is like the best thing that's ever been invented. It cuts through like these little areas right here that's very hard to get into. This Dremel is so small that it gets into those little crevices. I highly recommend getting one of these things. I'm not sponsored by Dremel, but hey, Dremel, if you want to sponsor me, get this bill started, hey, reach out to me. I want to get some of this parts paid off. Guys, remember, wear safety glasses, alright? So low speed, let's get this started. So quiet too. sand it down with I think it's like 180. Yeah, 180. I'm gonna sand it down. Around these areas right here. You get one of these circle blocks, I think a Dura block, set it down. You get around those edges a lot more, like those areas that's like more circular. Use one of these circular standing blocks. So go ahead and test. I'm gonna go ahead and try to test fit this, make sure. See if I need to sand down more. Take your time sand. I like to take my time sanding because I don't want to sand too much and then, you know, cause more of a problem for myself or a headache. So yeah, so this one's still not fitting correctly. I still need to sand down some more. I'm going to continue doing that. But let me show you guys what I did on the other side. Alright guys, so this is the end result right here. The headlight should fit perfectly fine now. A little bit of a gap, but for most part, it should be flush. I don't want to sand down too much. So I think that's the best way that, that's the best result that I could get with this fiberglass. That's why fiberglass work is so hard to do, is because it doesn't fit perfectly. It's never like precise. That's why you gotta do a lot of modification to it. But check that out. We're almost halfway there. I'm gonna go ahead and sand this whole part down with 180, get it ready for paint, and then hopefully the next video we're gonna go ahead and have at least the front end painted. And then I didn't forget about the tailgate, or yeah, the bed side. I'm still gonna do that on next video, because that's gonna be another video because it's not gonna fit in my paint booth. Alright guys, so recap on this video. Figured out how to modify the fiberglass Baja style fender. So this is also my first time, so make sure you learn from my mistakes. And also remember the TRD Pro Grille. We're gonna put that on, and then put the hood hinges back onto the old one, and then put the whole front end back together. And remember, we also prepped all the parts ready for paint. So hopefully on the next video we can have at least the front end and also the doors all painted. So again, if you guys subscribe to this channel and also comment down below, don't forget you guys can win on April 21st. 3 lucky winners are gonna win a set of touch-up bottles. So it's gonna be base coat, clear coat, sealer, and everything else, so to make sure your car looks fresh again. Alright guys, and so also don't forget, buy all your prepaid auto body parts stores at ReveMoto.com, your prepaid auto body parts stores, and also your touch-up bottle stores. Thank you.